Most people just want to be right. They don't even want to improve their life. Is that a rhyme? Maybe. This is what I want to talk about. Be sure to put your input on it. First of all, I want to also say a lot of these channels, there's always somebody trying to put themselves up here from position of power, and then their audience is down here, and it's like, listen to me, I'm the all-knowing king. Not this channel. I'm literally just you in different form. Well, maybe, I don't know. Some of you guys are crash outs. I'm not trying to get into that, but I'm learning just like you guys, and I feel like that's a better way to do things because I don't want to make it seem like I'm all knowing. I don't know everything. I make many mistakes. We're all in this together. So I just want to put that out there. But most people just want to be right. I'm learning this. Like, they don't even think about this, right? They just want to be right. They don't even want to improve their life. How ridiculous is that? I realized this from a kid too. As a kid, going through all the issues I went through, being homeless, moving from house to house, not having a positive male role model in my life, not having anybody in my life that really... I've had people that want to improve in their life. I've had, my grandma was very successful, but I didn't get the information from her. It was almost like, yeah, I'm successful, just work hard, like that was, there was no teaching involved. There was nothing I really learned because, well, one, I didn't ask her. She didn't tell me, and I was a kid, so, and she never really, and it's not her fault, obviously. She has her own stuff. She had her own business and stuff. But I'm saying, if anything, why didn't she teach my mom anything? I don't know. These are all things I'm wondering, but I realized as time went on, nobody fixed anything. Sure, my grandma got more wealthy. My mom didn't. My dad, he had money at a time, but it was more when he was younger and kind of tapered off, and he wasn't really that big part of my life. But it's just this thing where everybody around me doesn't do anything. Like, I don't mean this in a bad, well, I do kind of actually. Like, here's simple. Growing up, when I was like 10, we had the filthiest apartment ever when I was in 4th grade. We were barely surviving. Nothing was getting done. I mean, she paid the bills, right? But our quality of life was so bad. And I'm thinking to myself, like, even as a kid, I'm like, why is this always this way? Like, who is the person I'm supposed to go to get things done? Because it wasn't my mom. She was just worried about herself and her life and maybe us a little bit, but nobody actually wants to improve. It's like, and then once you try to hit them with logic, they're like, they just make excuses. Oh, like, you don't know how hard it is to be me in X, Y, and Z. And I agree. I don't know what it'd be like. I wasn't in her shoes or in anybody else's shoes. But it's just like giving up energy where it's like, oh, I'm doing the best I can, now leave me alone. I say, okay, well, if you did this and that might help a little bit so you could, figure out, and then it'd be a better scenario and then life would go on. No, I can't because of this, and I'm tired right now. I can't even. I just don't get it. Even maybe you, watch this. I'll send the energy to you and let's see how you respond to this. Do you have any Bitcoin? No? Buy $1 right now. You won't. Not saying if you have Bitcoin, obviously that's not food, but if you don't have any Bitcoin and you won't buy any, even $1, you're part of this too. And I mean, you don't have to necessarily be like, oh, I don't agree with Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. Okay, still buy $1. See what happens. But people won't, because people make up their minds and that's it. I am actually not of that lifestyle. if I see an opportunity, I'm gonna go for it. Not all the time, but more often than not, because I don't know, what do I have to lose, right? Like, what would you really have to lose by buying a little Bitcoin? And then a lot of the answers I get would be like, oh, it's not worth it. You're still lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. I love to watch people lie to themselves. I don't love it, but it's so easy to pick up on because it just makes no sense. But then I try to stay away, you don't want to press people too hard because then they start to unravel. And it's like, it's weird, right? Like, I've had these scenarios, like, even as like a teenager, I was like, what is going on? Can't you do something about this? And then people just shut down. I've had this experience with women, with friends, even people who I'm just trying to offer, and people be like, oh, well, say, what about you, man? You have stuff that you're not dealing with. Yeah, I still am dealing with it, but I realize there is nobody really trying to push me to really solve anything. Nobody really cares except me, I realize, right? Nobody really wants to improve their life except me, really. And I've accepted it over the years, There's certain people I won't name that, truthfully, I see going downhill. And it's very disturbing, but I can't help somebody who doesn't want help. And that's the saddest part, man. You see people over the years, you're like, thinking in your head, you're like, dude, you look horrible. You look terrible. And you just have to kind of not absorb that, because it's like, people are gonna make their decisions in life, and you're gonna see a lot of people make terrible decisions, and it's gonna ruin them and destroy them. And they still won't do anything about it. And then, it's a sick game, but I've learned how to play it to improve my own life. And you just gotta let people go sometimes, because they're never gonna learn. Even if, like, eventually, years later, they finally get something together, they're gonna be like, see, I was right. Everything is always went as planned, everything's great, it never was bad. I've also seen this too. It's like, now you're gonna fabricate the past? It's like, yeah, everything was fine, man. It was part of the plan, we had to figure it out, man, that was pretty tough, right? Never with they don't want to give up that ground, It's like, oh, I made mistakes. Who cares, man? So people are so afraid and such cowards that they can't even admit when they're wrong. Honestly, disgusting. But not me. I'm not a part of that group, and I might be, because someone might be like, oh man, you think you're like, I'm not immune to anything. But I am willing to look at it and be like, maybe I shouldn't have did it that way. Or maybe I should have did this. I'm just a lifelong learner. And that honestly scares people, because their mind isn't open enough to learn new information. It's like they're stuck in the same thing and not ever adding anything new. It's disappointing. It depresses me, because it shows me that I can't really have too many friends. They're not awake enough for me to really enlighten them, or for them to enlighten me, which is unfortunate. I'm always learning. So, of course I want to know information. Of course I want to learn about people to get their side of their things, It's like, what a great way to learn is from other people. But at the same time, I've realized I can't really learn too much from people, because they bring all their insecurities into it and their cowardice behavior. It's unfortunate, but maybe we all got to look in the mirror again. I'm willing to look in the mirror. I faced all my demons. Unfortunately, it's an unfair game, and people are gonna always, now they paint me as the guy, like, oh, you're just, that's just Marcus or something, or, like, oh, he just got lucky. He's just incredibly lucky. Sure, man. You keep living in that box to where I'm just, I don't know, man. Oh, his life's easy, man. And then I get shade thrown at me and just get shitted on. Oh, here comes Mr. Cheapskate, man. You gonna buy the 99-cent bag of chips again? It's like, dude, you just mad 'cause I have money and you don't. That you're out of shape and I buy chips on every occasion and I'm in great shape. People are so worried about other people. My God. And these people have lives. They have lives, they're just disappointed with it. I'm like, dude, you have some stuff that, but it doesn't matter. Because when they look at me, it's like, oh, you have more. Cowardice. And honestly, that is why I have more than you. Because you can't handle it. You would waste it. And isn't it so funny? The stuff they call me out about, they're way bigger, I guess, proponents of that. This dude over here goes and buys pizza, whatever, a bunch of times at McDonald's and all this other crap. Dude, how can you even talk about me? He's mad that I'm saving money. I don't know. And he's also the same person I told about Bitcoin, and he hasn't bought it. He hasn't looked into it. Doesn't care. It's pathetic, honestly. Honestly, I look at him and I'm grossed out, honestly. I hate to say that. I had to ditch a lot of family members because of this. They're not going anywhere. They're deteriorating in front of my very eyes. And I'm not gonna be around to watch that. If you wanna sit around and eat Oreos, get out of shape, drink, smoke whatever you're smoking, and destroy your body, you know what? You have free will and you are able to do that. But don't ask me to be around you, cheering you on, making you feel better about yourself when you're a fat, lazy piece of who also doesn't even want to see people. If I was a fat piece of crap, at least I would still be happy because it'd be like, this is what I wanted, like I love to love to do it, whatever, even if it was hard drugs, whatever it is. There would be no need to crap on people because this is what I want. But I don't get people anymore.